I warmly welcome you to our auspicious workshop on crisis communication workshop, whose theme is effective narratives on climate change and pandemics or epidemics. Our rationale is that over the past 5 years, Zimbabwe has been hit by 2 major disasters, namely Cyclone Idai and the COVID-19 pandemic. While globally it has been recognized that media, that's mass media, folk media, and social media plays a crucial role in crisis risk communication to avert and mitigate such disasters. It seems there has been very limited coverage of crises such as climate disasters, epidemics, and pandemics. Ineffective, insufficient, and infrequent media coverage of disasters creates confusion among the public and complacence among policymakers and leaders in critical national and international institutions that are responsible for protecting the public. Yet we know that the main mandate of the media is to be the voice of the voiceless, or to reflect or mirror the society as it happens in the society. This proposed research-based annual workshop and related activities seeks to address this gap. Clearly, there is a very limited research on principles and values that should guide crisis communication. There is urgent need for frequent research-based training forums, and in this annual workshop, NGOs, media academics, students, media practitioners, science experts, and policymakers meet to share outputs, skills, and experiences in order to enhance the effective communication of disasters. Clearly, there is very limited research on principles, values, and best practices that should guide effective crisis communication. The annual workshop and other related activities which will be proposed and ratified from this inaugural workshop will be both research tool and exchange platform to inform policies and practices that can inform efficient, sufficient, and effective crisis communication to prevent and mitigate disasters. The University of Zimbabwe, through the Department of Creative Media and Communication, will host this inaugural workshop to achieve the above. Collectively, we will invite science experts, even cultural experts, media researchers, practitioners, political entities, human rights activists, NGOs, advocacy groups, researchers, and arts practitioners from a wide range of disciplines to explore strategies to deploy media in effective crisis risk communication. Our workshop organizers intend to work with organizations and relevant stakeholders on a sustained long-term basis to create media content, curate, improve, and increase academic and empirical research to advance the critical role of media in crisis risk communication. This leads me to the objectives of this workshop. The inaugural and subsequent annual workshop is anchored on the following objectives: to strengthen the role of the media as a watchdog against national and global institutional complacence before, during, and after a crisis; to hold the media accountable in its coverage of a crisis; to share skills on creating crisis messages on climate change and pandemics or epidemics; to use quality media research to attract the attention of the government, civil society, academics, and grassroots organizations in order to act on laws, practices, and policies that strengthen the role of media in crisis risk communication; to sensitize and up-to-date media practitioners, academics, policymakers, and human rights activists on emerging trends impacting disasters, to capacitate the media in effective coverage, monitoring, and investigating excesses, losses, negligence, and achievements relating to disasters, to provide conducive platforms for inclusive exploration of possibilities of sustained media activism on disasters, to increase, popularize, and apply research on media and crisis risk communication, to produce handbooks, toolkits for media practitioners and journalists to equip them with ideological, linguistic, scientific, and technical tools for sustained crisis risk communication before, during, and after a crisis. For peer review, selected crisis communication message from mass media, social media, and